لسائر الوافدين أجمل الترحيب.
His Eminence welcomes all his visitors tonight.
وأتمنى لهم في سفرهم هذا طيب الإقامة ودوام الصحة والرجوع إلى بلدهم بالسعادة والصحة والعافية.
And I wish you all a nice stay in Syria and good health, and we hope that you will enjoy your visit to Syria and you may come back to your country in full safety.
وأعتقد أن السائح يحب دائما أن يتعرف على شيء لا يعرفه في البلد التي يزور.
And expect that every tourist wishes to know strange things that he doesn't know before.
والإسلام هو من الأشياء المجهولة لغير المسلمين.
And Islam is something which is nearly unknown to the non-Muslims outside the Muslim countries.
حتى بعض المسلمين كثيرا ما لا يعرفون حقيقة الإسلام.
And even the Muslims themselves may not understand the Islam well.
الإسلام هو الإيمان بوحدانية الله.
Islam, in fact, is the belief in the monotheism
وبكل أنبياء الله
and the belief in all prophets of God,
التي وردت في التوراة
which were
قبل التوراة
mentioned in the Torah and the books which were even before the Torah.
وفي كل العالم لأن القرآن يقول الله ما ترك أمة إلا أرسل فيها أنبياء.
And Allah says in the Quran that Allah has not left no nation without sending a prophet to it.
وكما نؤمن بالقرآن نؤمن بكل الكتب السماوية.
And as we believe in the holy book, the Quran, we believe too in the all holy books that were revealed by Allah.
لكن القرآن علق على الكتب السماوية.
And the Quran commented on all the holy books.
بأن لا نتقبلها إلا بعد أن نعرضها على العقل الكامل.
Quran commented and instructed us that we have not to accept all the previous book unless we expose and discuss it in our mentality and accept it mentally.
لأن الأديان الإبراهيمية الثلاث
Because the three Abrahamic religions
الآن ما هي على ما كانت عليه في زمن أنبيائها.
In fact, nowadays they are not in the same state as it was originally revealed by Allah, even Islam itself.
لذلك النبي محمد
For this reason, Prophet Muhammad
علمنا
taught us
أن نعيد النظر في فهم الإسلام في كل 100 سنة.
that we have to revise and to check our understanding in Islam every 100 years, every century.
ويقول بأن في كل 100 سنة تتغير مفاهيم الدين.
And
من الصح إلى بعض الخطأ.
And he says that the concepts of religion is exposed to some change every 100 years. Therefore, we have to check our understanding accordingly.
فيقول لابد من تجديد ثيابه في كل 100 سنة.
And he says that we have to renew the apparel of Islam every 100 years.
ويقول بأنه يصيبها مرض التحريف، فهم المعنى أو تغيير اللفظ على غير حقيقته الأولى.
And he says that one disease may infect our belief, that is the sophistication and the distortion of its meanings.
ويصير مغالاة في المؤمنين يخرجون الدين عن سكته الأولى.
The believers themselves, they may exaggerate in their love in the religion, and they may deviate the direction of religion as it was wanted to be by God Himself.
ولذلك هذا حصل في كل الأديان. فالإسلام واحد صار مذاهب. المسيح أتى بشيء واحد صار في النصرانية مذاهب وهكذا اليهودية.
And this in fact has become in every religion. Islam is only one religion came by Prophet Muhammad, And nowadays we see that there are many schools, different schools that belong to Islam. And this state also happened to Christianity. Christianity came as one Christianity, and we see now many kind and sects of Christianity appear, and even Judaism itself followed the same system.
الإسلام ما أتى ضد مصلحة الإنسان.
Islam has not come against the good interest of man.
فالإسلام جعل العلم بكل أنواعه فريضة على المسلم.
Islam made seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim, a good believer.
وأتى من أجل كل شعوب العالم ما من أجل العرب فقط.
And Islam came not only for Arabs, but all for population all over the world.
وجعل العلم والرجوع إلى العقل فريضة في الإسلام.
And Islam entailed that seeking knowledge is obligation in the belief of our Islam.
ولتحقيق إخاء الإنسان مع الإنسان بغض النظر عن دينه أو لونه.
And to establish brotherhood between man and man, regardless to his color, to his language, to his origin.
وأتى ليحارب الفقر.
And Islam came again to eliminate poverty.
وجعل الفقر مسؤولية على جميع المجتمع.
And made poverty as responsibility fall upon the shoulder of all the individuals of our society.
بأن يرفضوا الفقراء.
And Islam taught people to reject the poor and poverty.
وما معنى أن يرفضوهم أن يهملوهم أن يعطوهم حتى يصيروا أغنياء مثلهم.
Please don't understand that Islam has asked us to reject the poor people. No, but we have to encourage them to improve their state and to change them from poverty to richness.
وأتى حاملا معه رسالة النبيين سيدنا موسى وعيسى.
Islam also came carrying the two messages of Muhammad and Jesus, the Christ.
وعصرنا الحاضر
And our present time,
وبوجود وسائل الإعلام الحديث
and thanks to the
المرئي
modern
والمسموع
media that appears now, the audio and the video,
ما لو إذا وصلت رسالة السماء من أنبيائها الثلاث.
and if the message of heaven reached to people exactly pure as it was with the only prophets,
فلا تحقق السلام للإنسان تجاه أخيه الإنسان.
it would not only establish peace for man toward his brother, the man,
بل تحقق السلام من الفقر أيضا.
but it establishes peace from poverty too.
وتحارب الجهل فلا جهل.
And messages will fight ignorance and establish knowledge.
والإنسان مع تقدمه في عصرنا الحاضر
And since man is advanced in nowadays,
كان الإنسان في القديم
man
من الذئاب والسباع والأكاوي.
Man in the previous time, in old ages, used to fear the wolves, the wild animals, and so on. But nowadays we see that even tigers run away from man and his evil. And we notice that even the woman inside the circus strikes even the lion and it obeys its or her orders. But the message of heaven, which is religion, man has turned his back to it and ran away. And that who made man run away from religion,
عدم وجود رجل الدين الكفر.
the scarcity of the existence of the efficient clergyman,
كما أن الإنسان إذا عرض على الجهاز الهضمي طعاما سيئا يرفضه الجهاز الهضمي.
In the same way, if anyone eats something which is rejected by our stomach, it would not accept it or digest it, but will refuse it.
فالدين أتى لإصلاح العقل وسمو الروح.
And religion came to reform the mind and to make our spirit supreme.
فلما رأى العقل بأن ما يعرض عليه من الدين لا يلتقي معه.
And when intellect noticed that things that are presented to him about religion would not be accepted by mind,
فكما أن المائدة الذي يوضع فيها طعام غير ملائم ترفضه.
It rejected all the teachings exactly as the stomach will reject with all food that is not accepted by our stomachs.
وبحرمان الإنسان هذا العصر من حقيقة الدين
And
وبعده عنه.
And because man, at present time, has been deprived from the true religion, and because he is far from the truth of religion,
فأحاط الخطر المرعب في حياة الإنسان المعاصر.
therefore we see that the life of the modern man is surrounded by danger because he is away from religion.
كان الإنسان السابق إذا تحارب مع الإنسان الآخر بالسيف أو بالعصا.
Usually, previously, when man fights another man, they used to fight in duel by swords or a stick or something like that.
فالإنسان قرن العشرين يحارب الإنسان بما يهلك الإنسان والحيوان والنبات. القنابل النووية وأخواتها.
Civilized man in the 20th century, when he launched any war against man, we see that he kills man, animal, even plants, and everything with atomic and nuclear weapons.
ومعالجة هذا الخطر.
And how we treat this danger.
الدول كلها تعالج هذا الخطر بما هو الأخطر.
All states and nations nowadays treat this danger with something which is more dangerous.
القنابل النووية وأخواتها هذه ما اخترعت لأجل السباع والوحوش والأفاعي.
We see that the atomic bombs were not created, of course, to kill only animals and snakes.
ولو عرف الإنسان تعاليم الله الحقيقية.
And if man had known the teachings of Allah and God well,
فما عاد يحتاج لا للقنابل النووية ولا القنابل العادية.
sure man, there is no need for him to have atomic bombs and atomic weapons.
والنبي محمد
And Prophet Muhammad
أخبر بنزول المسيح في آخر الزمان.
told us, and he told us that the Jesus Christ will come back at the end of life.
كما هو في المسيحية أيضا.
And this of course found in Christianity.
لكن علماء الدين الإسلامي المعاصر
But the contemporary Muslim scholars nowadays,
يقولون لا ينزل المسيح بجسده.
they say that the Christ will not descend and come back physically with his physicality,
ولكن تعاليمه الإنسانية هي التي تنزل في القلوب والعقول.
but his human teachings will fall and come back to our minds and to our hearts.
والتي أتى بها أيضا سيدنا محمد.
And this teaching, which was brought by Prophet Muhammad himself,
ويقول النبي محمد بأن هذا الالتقاء سيبدأ في دمشق.
and Prophet Muhammad says that this meeting between Christ and man will occur in Damascus city itself.
ولعل مثل لقائنا هذا
And maybe such meetings like this one,
قبل أن تنزل الأمطار وتمتلئ الأودية بالسيول.
before rains comes and all valleys filled with water,
فأول تنزل نقاط قليلة.
usually before it rains heavily, it showers little and then it starts.
فلقاؤنا هذا قطرة من قطرات السماء قبل امتلاء الأودية بالسيول.
And our meeting now, I expect that it is similar to the fine shower of rain before it will rain heavily.
فالإسلام لما حرر البلاد من الاستعمار
And when Islam liberated countries from colonization,
ترك لكل الشعوب حريتها الدينية.
Islam let the freedom of belief to all people that he entered.
والقرآن في مواضع متعددة ينص على هذا.
And the Quran, in many places in the Quran, has stated that.
ولذلك لو كان يحارب الأديان كان بلادنا لا يبقى فيها مسيحي.
And if Islam were against other religions, we would not have seen other religions besides Islam in our countries.
فيحتاج الإنسان الآن
Man nowadays needs
إلى حمام
to have a shower or a bath
ينظف أدياننا
where we have to clean our religions
من الشوائب والرواسب التي شوهت جمالها.
from all the dirt that had stuck to it, which has distorted its beauty and its purity.
النبي محمد يقول
Prophet Muhammad says,
لما عرجت روحه إلى السماء
when his spirit ascended to heaven
وصار كلام له تكليم مع الله
and he spoke to Allah,
ونزل في بيت المقدس
and
من
then
السماء
he came back in the sacred house coming from heaven,
والتقت هناك روحه بروح موسى وعيسى والأنبياء.
and there in his ascendance his spirit met the spirit of Jesus, Moses and all prophets of Allah,
وصلوا كلهم صلاة واحدة لله.
and all of them prayed to Allah together in one prayer.
فهذه تعاليم الدين ألا يجب أن يعرفها إنسان هذا العصر؟
Therefore, these teachings of religion, mustn't it be taught to the man of the present day?
وقد وصلت الإنسانية إلى خطر لم تصل إليه في كل العصور السابقة.
At a time, humanity nowadays has reached the danger which had never before reached it.
الإسلام لما حرر هذه البلاد
When
من
Islam,
الاستعمار الروماني
when Islam liberated these lands from the Roman colonization,
كان من جملة تشريعاته
one of its teachings was
أنه ضمن حقوق الأقليات.
that Islam in fact guaranteed the freedom of belief of all the minority in these countries.
لا من أن يتعدى مسلم على مسيحي، لا.
It was not permitted at all that a Muslim should oppress the non-Muslim, no, at all.
زيادة على ذلك أعطى الضمان ضد الفقر.
And Islam, when it opened these lands, gave guarantee against poverty.
فكان المديون ولو مسيحيا أو يهوديا
And he who has debts, even if he is Christian or a Jew,
إذا عجز عن وفاء الدين
if he is helpless to pay back his debts,
فكان قانون الدولة الإسلامية أن تفي عنه دينه
the
من غير
Islamic,
نظر إلى دينه.
the Islamic law says that the Islamic State is responsible for his debts, and the Islamic State has to pay his debt even if he is a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim.
واستقال أمير مدينة من مدائن الشام حمص من عمله لأنه شتم نصرانيا، فضميره الإسلامي أنبه فقدم استقالته لوقوعه في هذا الخطأ تجاه مسيحي واحد.
It happened in the Islamic history. If you read it, you will see that one of the rulers, the Muslim rulers, who was ruling Homs city in Syria, he was a Muslim, and suddenly he went to the Caliph of his time, asking for him to accept his resignation from the job that he was supervising and running as a ruler. Why? Because he insulted one Christian, one Christian citizen. He insulted him. His conscience did not obey him and did not permit him to go on ruling that country. For this reason, because he insulted that Christian citizen, he went back to the Muslim Caliph and asked him resignation from his work.
ولما أتى عمر بعد تحرير القدس من الرومان.
And when Umar came back after liberation of Jerusalem from the Romans,
وزار الكنيسة العظمى في القدس.
And he visited the greatest church in Jerusalem.
وحان وقت الصلاة للمسلمين صلاة العصر.
And it happened that it was time for Umar to perform the afternoon prayer, the Muslim prayer in Jerusalem.
وطلب منه أن يصلي في الكنيسة.
And at that time they asked him to perform and establish his Muslim prayer in the church.
فقال له رهبانها صلي في الكنيسة ما في مانع.
And the monks at that time asked Umar, the Caliph of the Muslim, to perform his prayer in the church itself.
فقال لم أخاف إن صليت في الكنيسة يأتي المسلمون بعدي فيصادرونه ويقول هنا صلى عمر فهذه نحن أولى بها فصلى خارجها خوفا من العدوان المذكور.
But Umar himself did not accept that, and he refused to perform his prayer in that church and said that, I'm afraid after I pass away that the Muslim would say that Umar performed his prayer in this church, and I'm afraid that the Muslim congregation will come and proclaim that since Umar had performed his prayer here, we have to pray here in the mosque. He preserved the freedom of belief of the Christian under his governing, and he did not accept to perform his personal in order not to permit to the Muslim to imitate him and to make the church a mosque, but he preserved the mosque as it is, the church as it is, and he went to other place, and the Caliph performed his prayer in that new place.
أنا انتهى كلامي من له